Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure in our life we know someone who is an OFW. Maybe they're a friend, a tita, a tito, or maybe they're even our parents or ates and kuyas who are older than us, who are blazing the trail for us and their families to have a better life. This is a regrets motion, and we just have to ask as an average, reasonable person. And I think it's fair to assume that the Philippine society, because of how cheerful, nice, and optimistic we are, status quo does have glorification. If we take a historical look over what has happened over the past 50 years, I think as an average, reasonable person, it's probably done more good precisely because our country is so ass and it hasn't really gotten better. Meaning, these particular individuals work their ass off to be able to earn a stronger currency when they put themselves out in a foreign land in the middle of the world, somewhere else, many hours away, to be able to have to inculcate themselves into a new culture and way of life, and be able to leave their comfort and the people they love and care about. Which is why the glorification of these people who work so damn hard is precisely what we want to support, and we think it's a disgrace that the other side doesn't see that. A couple of reasons why their side can't take this round. The first is, if side gov concedes that on their side, the counterfactual is that people are still gonna go abroad, then I don't necessarily know how these people are gonna get protected absent glorification. Because the top of our case line coming from my speech was explaining how the state and the Philippine government, absent glorification, wouldn't treat them like a priority. We wouldn't have strong institutions and programs to be able to help these people. Yeah, their side can maybe still have those institutions, that's me throwing them a bone, but it wouldn't be as important or as taken seriously. That is to say, the narrative is probably gonna go along the lines of, if they have a problem, the government will be like, OFW yan, pabayaan mo na, di naman yan priority, di naman kasi yan talagang Pilipino, iniwan niya tayo, gusto lang niya pera, mukhang pera naman yan, iniisip lang niya sarili niya. That's literally the counterfactual that's likely to happen absent glorification when, because of things like crab mentality and Pinoys always like being envious and jealous of stuff, are probably gonna dunk on them, and you don't unlock the benefits side gov tries to co-opt from our side. The next part is this idea and dissection of the counterfactual, right? Because if PM said, oh, they're gonna stay here, and then DM abandons the first speaker and says, no, wait, they're gonna leave naman, yeah. On both sides, it's gonna be worse. If they stay here, that's where you unlock my impact of apathy and cynicism, wherein because we don't have enough infrastructure or opportunities because of a lack of supply of jobs, these people who went into debt and be able to have their education are gonna have resentment and anger towards the government because they're as a lack of opportunity. But if what the DEP says is true and these people do leave to find better pastures, that's where you unlock Jaron's case, wherein Jaron said, absent this glorification and support, this is something that's anti-poor because the very people who have no other alternatives but be able to earn a stronger currency elsewhere are going to be the very people who are locked into that system of hardship wherein it's a vicious cycle to be able to stay here. And we've proven to you, because of things like unemployment and underemployment, things particularly get worse. Lastly, it's just asking a question in terms of what this really has done. And we think that it ultimately has given people a sense of hope, a sense of belief that things can be better, this sacrifice will be worth it, and the very people who I'm working so hard for will be there to support me. We are very proud to stand on side NEG. Thanks.